Hi everyone, it's Heidi again. Today we're going to be watching a little bit of a different video. This one caught my eye. You guys recommended this one forever ago. Maybe one person recommended this. I don't even remember, but it's in my list. It's called the Bizarre 50-course 7-hour-long $1,000 meal at Alchemist. That's a restaurant in Copenhagen. According to the description, it has 2 Michelin stars. Am I saying that right? I know nothing about fine dining except for the movie The Menu and the show The Bear. So we're gonna give this a shot. Let me know if you guys have tried this meal, if they even still offer it. If you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's do this.
Yeah, you read the title right.
Yeah. I think this would be so fun.
This is a 50-course, 7-hour-long meal. And it's really weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was that whatever that was shaped like a pair of lungs? This should be really interesting. Are those rabbit ears?
I got the chance to visit the weirdest restaurant in the world. I'm talking about Alchemist in Copenhagen. Reservations sell out in under 3 seconds, and it's one of the best restaurants in the world, but I can't even really call it dinner. I mean, when's the last time you did this during dinner? It's crazy that I got to experience this, but dinner will set you back almost $1,000. So I really just want to answer 2 questions today. What makes this the weirdest restaurant in the world, and is it worth it? The experience starts from the moment you walk in.
Probably not, but
massive doors that slowly open to a black void. You're told to go into a pitch black room where all of a sudden a violinist from the Copenhagen Philharmonic greets you with a Danish folk song. It was actually a little bit scary, but then...
So this is not just the food that they're paying for. This is an entire experience. Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. I wasn't expecting the violinist. Maybe I should find something even slightly close to this. Just experience some tiny little type of fine dining.
And the doors open and you're in their lounge with their massive wine towers and interactive drink menus waiting for the meal to begin. There were already some ridiculous moments even before we got the food, but for this meal I decided to let go of all expectations of what this meal could be so I could really experience everything that they had to offer. And then the food started coming out. And already I was shocked.
Is that an egg
daisy
yolk?
with a center that explodes in your mouth. A drink made with rabbit ear.
I'm so not part of this world. Is that an egg yolk? Help me. I also want to say that this was posted 2 years ago. Pretty recent, but things definitely could have changed since then. So let me know in the comments if you guys have any other insight or information about this restaurant or this meal.
The thing about this restaurant is usually I can imagine what a dish looks like. But when you tell me that this is a dumpling and the texture of the outside is almost like cotton candy, my brain just can't process it. This is bread made from vegetable leftovers that they collaborated with SpaceX and NASA on. Like, what?
So, the next impression is our attempt to making the perfect omelet. So we have here is a very thin skin that's made of eggs. We fill it up with soft scramble from the eggs themselves with a bit of comfy cheese, and on top we put pancetta and truffle butter.
Their bikini sandwich from Spain was transformed into a mochi ball of cheese and Iberian ham goodness. Oh my god.
That looks really good.
I've never had a meal like this, and going in I felt a little intimidated. I mean, the giant doors, the pitch black room with a violinist, the space food, who wouldn't feel intimidated? But then as the dishes started coming, I was kind of just having fun. I felt like a kid in a toy store getting to play with all of these different dishes. And then we were whisked away from the lounge into their main dining room, and I mean, just look at it. You walk in and there's this giant dome with beautiful visuals on it that move and change. The waitstaff is serving guests in their simple yet elegant gray outfits, and everything is so precise and orderly. Honestly, if you told me that this was part of some dystopian novel or movie, I would have fully believed you. And it's funny because the first dish that we were served here was called 1984.
And there's a very famous line from the book also saying the big brother is watching you. So tonight we are watching you with this eye. We are serving you a Danish potato together with a cream made out of lovage, some fresh green peas, and on top serving you extra caviar.
I'm so sorry. I thought the entire eyeball was the dish. What the heck is that made out of? They're gonna eat that whole thing. Sometimes I have a hard time telling the difference between where the food ends and the dish starts because the dish is just as unique as the food is. The presentation is amazing. How do they wash all of this stuff? This is so cool.
So from here on out, what I love about Alchemist is many of their dishes have some sort of deeper meaning. 1984 was about data privacy, and you have the visuals on the dome with all the eyes watching you like Big Brother really is watching you. We'll wind up having dishes that are about human rights, blood donations, caged animals, and then you have dishes like this.
This impression is called Plastic Fantastic. It is a comment on microplastics, the ones we find in our oceans and in the creatures that live in the ocean.
But that wasn't their only commentary about the ocean. They had this beautifully lit jellyfish dish that's about finding more sustainable sources of seafood that we can eat and enjoy. They also had this cake that was made from the tails of king crab, which are often an underutilized part of the animal. This was a menu that really made you think. If you told me that I would be going into this meal and learning about the world, I would have thought that you were crazy.
That's
but when
really
you're eating a dish that looks and feels like plastic and you're looking at the visuals on the dome of a turtle trapped in some plastic itself, you really start to feel something. But not all the dishes had some sort of societal meaning. Some of them were just fun.
Rasmus got the inspiration of his favorite food, beautiful lobster roll. You just make a mold from a real lobster claw, fill it up with the meat parts, freeze it down, dip it in vodka, and deep fry it.
After this is when things start to get creepy, like really creepy. I'm an adventurous eater, but even I started to have my limits tested by some of these dishes.
That's supposed to look like a heart. What?
There was a moment where I overheard the guy next to me saying that he would not eat this dish no matter what. So I literally had to turn to him and convince him to at least try the dish, you know? Alchemist is not just about the fun and freewheeling dishes. It's also got some dishes that will make you uneasy. But when the waitstaff came and explained what the dishes were made of and what they represented, it sort of eased a lot of that fear.
This is the lungs of the lamb, which is very much a kind of taboo part of the animal, even by offal standards. Here we've made them into almost like a pate or like a cream.
We're eating lungs
Pate is
right
actually
now.
pretty freaking good.
Really, really delicious, actually.
That's
good. Amazing.
That's good.
Here you're getting the impression, which is called food thoughts. You're getting served here the lamb brain. It comes on top of a deep fried.
Sorry, the way he strokes the eyebrow. That is so funny. You can tell he does not belong there. I love this. Okay, I did not expect this to really actually remind me of the movie The Menu. Like, I didn't realize that there are actually experiences that are that odd.
Fried brioche bowl, which is filled with foie gras and a little bit of lamb brain.
What are we eating? Lamb brain.
Okay.
This is what we're eating. Lamb brain.
It's like a weird sushi.
Oh my god. So with lungs and brain on the menu, we might as well have had the tongue
that's a tongue.
as well. They didn't explicitly state that it was a replica of the chef's tongue, but I feel like it was implied, so I had to give the chef a French kiss. This
I did not need to see that. That's so funny. I love that he's just having fun with it. That's fantastic. I feel like I would maybe feel a lot of pressure to not like be too much or like to fit in with all the other fine dining people, like wealthy. I don't know. I just feel like he said he was intimidated, but I'm really glad that he was able to kind of let go and just experience it the way that he wanted to experience it. Because I mean, I don't know if he paid for it, but it's expensive and I'm glad that he got out of it what it was worth, probably.
This section of the dishes was just insane and is what made Alchemist so weird and beautiful and amazing. I mean, the act of literally freeing a caged chicken in order to enjoy your dish, while images of tons of caged birds are all around you, is actually quite powerful. Look at this chicken.
Wild.
We freed it from the cage, now we have to eat it.
But I'm actually coming from business world. I'm an educated
I used to think that fine dining was stuffy, formal. It was a bunch of people in suits and ties and white tablecloths on the table. But what I realized, especially for me, is I just love seeing how far food can go, how it can be creative and innovative and be more than just about taste, how it can really potentially inspire. And seemingly simple dishes like this light and airy bread topped with Iberian ham, or this fluffy bao that almost looks like it came out of Squid Game, can be so interesting and unique.
thinking.
Now, desserts were my favorite part of the meal, but there was one part that actually shocked me. I had never seen this in a restaurant before. It's this room that's blindingly pink. It's an interactive dish.
The dance part.
I really don't know how to explain it.
Welcome.
What an interesting job this girl has.
I will be guiding you through this experience. Please wipe your hands with the napkin in front of you. Please throw your napkin on the floor. Carefully grip the cup with one hand. Insert your index finger into the cup.
By the way, yes, we are still eating a fine dining meal.
Run your finger along the inside of the cup and then raise your finger. Lick your finger. Now.
This is wild. Wait, is he the only one in the room?
Yeah, I don't even know how to describe what just happened. So let's move on to desserts.
It's the iconic Andy Warhol banana. This is a piece of art that actually does.
Wait, I'm so sorry. I can't move on from that. I'm gonna go back so we can hear that part again. If he was the only person in the room with that lady, I feel like that would be so awkward. I feel like if there was a group of people in there and everyone was kind of laughing at each other and all going through this together, I feel like that would be a little more fun and less intimidating and weird. It looked like it was just him, and that would be so interesting. I mean, is it supposed to be just you by yourself? No, he said that he talked to somebody. Maybe he wasn't by himself, and maybe it was just for the video. Maybe there were other people in the room, but they didn't want to be filmed. But that just, that was so funny. Good for him for doing this. That is so awesome. Seriously.
Shall we move on to desserts?
It's the iconic Andy Warhol banana. This is a piece of art that actually does hang in Rasmus's kitchen, but it also depicts the art that Andy Warhol did for another one of Rasmus's inspirations, which is the Velvet Underground. Blood donation is very, very close to a lot of
Really quickly, I wonder if they smashed it for him. It looked like that was a very intentional smash. Kind of cool. I wonder how involved the waiters were with the presentation of the dish. I mean, they have to lift the little forehead up and stuff like that. And they explain what it is. I don't know, how often do they like touch it? I love this. I feel like I would really enjoy an experience like this. I wouldn't be able to stop laughing or just be like, ah! It's awesome. It's cool that this world has things like this. Like human beings, man. We are so interesting.
A lot of Danes' hearts. Right now, there's a pretty serious national blood shortage, so they're kind of constantly doing call-outs for people to donate blood if they're able. But we also know that lots of our guests don't come from Denmark. It's not super relevant to only talk about the local blood shortage. So we built the QR code at the bottom of the plate. It launches a website that we designed to kind of get guests connected to blood banks that are closest to them.
It's actually
to finish
so
off
cool.
the meal, we had this chocolate bar because ending on blood isn't the best.
Ending on blood isn't the best. That's fantastic. I wonder also how often they switch the menu up. I bet that they do it pretty often depending on what's going on in the world, in society. That is so cool. So I wonder how many people have done this meal experience multiple times. That is just so neat. What an interesting, creative thing. I don't even know. We're gonna keep going now.
Chocolate bar has facts about child labor in the chocolate trade and how inhumane some chocolate can be. It's in a biodegradable wrapper, and the bar itself is in the shape of a grave to really highlight that point. It's powerful stuff. We had a final few bites like these wood ants inside of amber, but the 7 hours really flew by. I honestly can't even believe that we were there for that long. So is it worth it? Well, the short answer for me is yes. It was the best meal I've ever had in my entire life. I see it kind of like getting VIP tickets to your favorite artist's concert or getting tickets to the World Cup. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, but it's something that you should experience once in your life.
Wow. What a crazy, like, anniversary idea. I don't know, like bring your loved one and go experience this like crazy, weird food experience. Oh, I have a lot of really weird recommendations now. Oh dear. Thanks everybody. I can't remember what the restaurant was, but there was a restaurant that was like the #1 restaurant in the entire world in Copenhagen. It wasn't Alchemist, but it was something else. I've talked to my stream about it before. If you guys remember what that is, let me know. I kind of really wanted to go to that restaurant and just like get one appetizer or something like that. Like not spend a lot of money because I am not wealthy by any means, but it would be really cool to just experience the environment, just kind of be there in a like really intense fine dining experience. 7 hours. Like, I wonder, do you have to ask them when you need to use the restroom, or do they give you restroom breaks? I just have so many questions. So cool of HailHeidi to do that. That's really neat. I'm actually gonna like this video because that was a really, really fun video. I wasn't expecting the food to be very connected to meaning. That I think is really awesome. Anyway, I feel like this is going to unlock an entire load of interesting recommendations from you guys. Let me have them. Maybe I'll try something like this one day and post it on the YouTube channel. Who knows? Anyway, thank you so much for this recommendation. That was fascinating. And also it makes me really hungry and also not hungry at all at the same time. Let me know what else I should be watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.